Diddy's trial is getting worse and worse, and it looks like Sean Combs is going to be behind bars for the rest of his life, especially because all of his employees are speaking out. The hotels, they have records, and the FBI raids revealed some disturbing things. There's no way he's going to be getting out of this, so let's get into it. You guys know we don't mess around when it comes to animals on this channel, and it looks like rapper Kid Cudi feels the same way because Diddy not only broke into his house, but he messed with his dog. That is so scary to think how controlling Diddy was of Cassie that he's willing to go and hurt another man's animal, an innocent animal that doesn't deserve that. Ugh, like, you guys are gonna get me heated over here because I get pissed off hearing about people harm animals. Like, lock him up just for that. Now, this all went down back in 2011 whenever Diddy and Cassie were technically on a break. He claims in December 2011, Cassie called him early in the morning and told him that Diddy found out about them, and he says that cops were called too. Kid Cudi was with Cassie when they both received a call from Diddy's employee, Capricorn Clark, who told them that Diddy himself was inside Kid Cudi's home. Capricorn Clark told him that she was waiting in the car outside of the home while Diddy was inside.
He testified that on December 11th, around 5:30 or 6 a.m., Cassie called him sounding nervous, scared, or stressed. She said Diddy found out about them and she gave Diddy Kid Cudi's address. She was terrified, not knowing what Diddy would do, so he picked her up and took her to Sunset Marquis Hotel because he thought it would be off Diddy's radar. While at the hotel, he said they spoke on speakerphone to Capricorn Clark, who was an employee of Diddy's and Kid Cudi's, and he said that she sounded like she was on the verge of tears. Capricorn Clark told him that Diddy and someone else were already inside his house and she was forced to go with them.
Kid Cudi testified that he called Diddy and planned to confront him at his home, telling him, "Diddy, you mother effer, you're in my house?" He says Diddy calmly told him, "What's up? I just want to talk to you." Kid Cudi says then he told Diddy that he was on his way there, but when he got there, no one was home. He discovered his security cameras were not working and that they had been moved without his knowledge. Kid Cudi testifies that once he got home, some of the gifts he had received, like one from Chanel, actually had been opened, and his dog, who usually roamed the house freely, was locked up in a bathroom. He also said that his dog became jittery and on edge in the wake of the break-in. So pretty much traumatized that dog. Screw you, Diddy. Kid Cudi says he called Diddy again and wanted to go looking for him to fight him, but he said he ultimately decided to call the cops. Good for him. Kid Cudi claims that he spent Christmas that year with Cassie and her family in Connecticut and that Diddy called him a few times. Kid Cudi said he told Diddy, "You broke into my house and messed with my dog. I don't want to talk to you." Now, on top of him messing around with Kid Cudi's dog, Diddy also blew up his Porsche in a really bizarre way. It almost seems like Kid Cudi's car was bombed, like they put something within it and had it explode into flames. He claims that his Porsche went up in flames outside his house in January 2012, shortly after he broke things off with Cassie. Kid Cudi says he wasn't home, but he got a call from the dog's babysitter informing him that his car was on fire. He says he rushed home and he found the exploded car. Kid Cudi told the jury that he reached out to Diddy a few days after the incident because he knew that Diddy had something to do with it. Kid Cudi said he told Diddy that they needed to meet up and talk. He said Diddy wanted to talk to him and things were going to get out of hand. So they decided to meet up and they met at Soho House in West Hollywood. Diddy's security guard, D-Rock, escorted him into a room where Diddy was standing there like a Marvel supervillain. Kid Cudi says they chopped it up to about Cassie and Diddy told him he thought that they were homies and Cassie was his girl. Kid Cudi says he told Diddy that he thought they had broken up. Kid Cudi told the jury that Diddy was so calm during the meeting that it was weird and that Cassie came in the room and told him that she and Kid Cudi had fallen in love. Oh god, that must have been a really tense Soho House meeting. Of course, he asked Diddy about the car bombing, asking him, "What about my car?" And Diddy responded, "I don't know what you're talking about." Kid Cudi told jurors that he didn't see Diddy again until a few years later, also at Soho House, when Diddy apologized for all that BS. Of course, he's going to acknowledge it and apologize for it after some years go by. He probably realizes how dramatic he was in that situation, especially because he did walk away with Cassie again. As for Kid Cudi, he felt like he was played by Cassie within their relationship because she told him things were over with Diddy, only for her to get back with Diddy after they broke up. Defense attorney Brian Steele asked him, "She played you?" He said, "Yes." He followed up with, "You had no clue?" And he responded, No clue. So Kid Cudi's testimony is pretty damning. It shows that Diddy conspired with other people to go and control Cassie, and that he did run a criminal enterprise. That is what the government suing him for. Now, if you guys watched my last video about the Diddy trial, you probably know who Carrie Morgan is, because she was Cassie's best friend until Diddy ultimately tore them apart because Diddy had attacked her. Well, she's coming back to court because she's got more to say. We're hearing from so many different people, from Cassie's mother, from Cassie's former best friend, Carrie Morgan, and I think her testimony is crazy because she not only was paid off by Diddy to the tune of $30,000, but she was attacked by him in a really aggressive way. I mean, Carrie was never close with Diddy. There's no reason at all for him to put his hands on anyone. I mean, let alone Carrie. Not only was Carrie attacked by Diddy, but she also witnessed years of Cassie going through it. Many times when he would push her, hit her, slam her. And I can't imagine being someone's best friend and watching their boyfriend do that to them. I could not imagine myself in that position.
Talking about Diddy's presence, she said that it was dominating and unpredictable. Talking about physical assault, she said the first time she saw him getting physical with Cassie was in a house in Hollywood Hills. She says Diddy and Cassie were arguing in the bedroom while she stood in the foyer. She said she saw Diddy pushing Cassie and possibly punching and kicking her too. He said Cassie did not fight back and that Carrie yelled at Ruben, who is Diddy's security, to do something, and he did not. In fact, she said Ruben refused. Afterwards, her and Cassie ran out of the house and hid behind a neighbor's front steps for 30 minutes as Diddy searched for them.
And of course, there was the moment in Jamaica where they were all on vacation trying to have fun, and Diddy felt like Cassie was taking too long in the bathroom, so he brutally attacked her. Carrie was also asked about the aftermath of the 2016 FO at the Intercontinental Hotel, where Diddy was attacking Cassie and was captured on public camera. Carrie said that Cassie had her hoodie over her head and she was kind of slumped and dropped her bags, and when she pulled her hoodie back, she had a black eye. Carrie says that she and Cassie often spoke about her relationship with Diddy. She says, sometimes I would tell her she should leave him, and according to Cassie, she couldn't leave him because he controlled her job, car, and her apartment, everything in her life. It was Carrie's breaking point whenever Diddy decided to attack her, and after this attack happened, Cassie said that Carrie was being dramatic, which I think really sealed the deal on this friendship ending. How can Cassie casually, and I know Cassie was pretty much brainwashed at this point, but how could she pay someone $30K and say, hey, it wasn't that big of a deal, but you're still paying me $30K because of what you had put me through? I mean, that shows how big of a deal it really is.
Carrie said she considered filing a lawsuit, but about a month later, Cassie came to her and said that Diddy would give her $30K, so she took the money and signed an NDA. She said she hadn't spoke to Cassie ever since.
That is part of the reason why I do not have any empathy for Diddy in this situation. I mean, he has hurt so many different people, and if he can go after Carrie like that, I mean, who else has he gone after? I guess we'll see in these weeks of court hearings. All of these random people are going to come forward with their horrific stories that really do match. It's all kind of like a pattern.
Diddy's so unhinged that he beat Cassie in front of everybody and did not even think twice about the consequence. He beat her in front of her best friend. Imagine what Lil' Kim saw. Imagine what Mary J saw. These people that were around him constantly, imagine what they saw and participated in. They are extremely quiet, and it makes me wonder if the prosecution is going to bring them onto the stand or what. Because y'all was buddy, BFF, y'all was Cookie Crunch girlfriends with Diddy. Now all of a sudden y'all radio silent? Oh, okay.
Now, another report came forward saying that Diddy needed extra housekeeping because of the messes he left in hotels. This guy named Frederick, a general manager at this hotel in Beverly Hills, took the stand, and he had a lot to say about the rooms Diddy booked over the years. Frederick explained that he used a hotel system called Opera, a software hotel that they could do to pull back, I guess, reservations. They stay in the system forever, which is great, so they always have a record. And Diddy's profile dates way back to 2006. Apparently this was a regular complaint because of the permanent notes about Diddy reads, always spills candle wax on everything and uses excessive amounts of oil. Place the room out of order upon departure for deep cleaning. Other notes includes, please monitor outside his room, down the hall to spray air freshener. Ew. Monitor outside his room and down the hall to spray air freshener because it stinks so bad from the FOs in there. Please authorize an extra $1,000 when guest stays with us to cover any room damages.
Day 8, and this is what Diddy looks like. That's how Diddy's doing right now. This is what Diddy looked like the first day of the trial. The days are over of Diddy giving the thumbs up. Diddy's officially worried he's not going to buy himself out of this one, huh? Maybe he isn't invincible.
Now in court, we're also learning about these raids that the FBI did on Diddy's homes. And boy, did they have a lot of things at Diddy's Miami home. We're talking 31 bottles of Astroglide lube, 25 bottles of baby oil, a bunch of cell phones, some pew-pews, and a bunch of other drugs as well. Everything from MDMA to ketamine to Zans, everything you could imagine. He had a whole pharmacy pretty much. There were about 80 or 90 agents involved in the search of Diddy's 20,000 square foot property, with feds using armed vehicles to break through the front gate and deploying boats to make sure no one tries to flee the home. The raid didn't start till 3 p.m. because the feds were keeping tabs on Diddy and got information that he was going to leave on a family trip, so they waited for him to leave the house before making their move. When Diddy got intercepted by federal agents at the Florida airport in the wake of the raids on his homes in Miami and in LA, it looks like Diddy got intercepted by federal agents at the Florida airport, so he wasn't going anywhere. At that point, he wasn't handcuffed at the airport, but he was taken away into custody. Now, a former employee named George Kaplan is coming forward claiming he's the one who set up the rooms for Diddy's FOs. He told the jury that he would book rooms for Diddy under the name Frank Black, which was inspired by the notorious B.I.G.'s nickname Frank White. George would pack a bag of Diddy beforehand and unpack it in the room, setting up candles, Astroglide lubricant, and baby oil. So weird how all these employees knew this was happening. When Diddy was done with the rooms, he said that George would clean up, collecting the bottles of baby oil and things like that. At one point, he said he saw a brown crystallized powder on the bathroom sink. George said he cleaned the rooms instead of the housekeepers as a way to protect Diddy's public image. He testified that Diddy would contact him during his hotel stays and send him out for food, clothes, sometimes more substances. He said Diddy gave him cash and a number to call and he would come back with the goods. George said he logged about 80 to 100 hours a week with a starting salary of $125,000. He said that Diddy would threaten his job at times and tell him he wanted to be surrounded by the best. He claims that he saw a lot of violence involving Diddy, and the reason why he did not intervene was because this was his career. He described an incident on a private jet flight to Las Vegas when an episode between the couple occurred. He testified that he heard glass breaking. He said Cassie stayed in the back of the plane and Diddy came up and asked him to get creams to conceal bruising on her face. George eventually left the company because he didn't think he should be involved in covering things up, quote, fixing those kind of things. In addition to his father having cancer, he wanted to get out of there. Now, that is what we have learned in week 2 of court. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I also want you guys to keep in mind that Cassie is a victim here. I mean, I would think that we all are on the same page, but looking at social media, it seems like a lot of people are victim blaming her, and I don't understand how you cannot see that she was absolutely controlled by this man, but also like used and objectified by him.
Yesterday, Diddy's personal assistant testified that Cassie told him directly, "I can't get out." She said, "He oversees so much of my life. He controls my music career. He gives me an allowance." She felt trapped because he was controlling her bank, her housing, and her career. It sounds like she was being pimped.
But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys tuning into my videos every day. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.